Fire away. As a
Yo, what's happening, everybody? Mr. Plop is here, and I got a different video for you guys today. The XFL has now been relaunched, I guess you could say. It's back, people. I didn't really watch the original one. I don't know how old I was. Probably a teenager back in 2001-ish area. But he's bringing it back. And I think it's pretty exciting news. I'm kind of up and down about it because the original one was such a failure that it's kind of scary. But things that I took out of this is, one, he sounds a lot more educated about it, I guess you could say, or a lot more mature. He said many a times that he's gonna reamp this. What I think is very important, he's not going to be the focus of the XFL like it was originally. Back in 2001, he was the face of it. He did the advertisements. He did whatever. Vince's face was on it. So I think that was really smart of him this time. But some of the quick notes, which he also explained, is that there will be 8 teams total, 49 rosters, 10-game regular season, a postseason championship, and he's hoping for the XFL to be on TV and digital platforms. And he was saying digital is very important now compared to the original because obviously it goes to a bigger range. You can watch it on your phone, you can watch it on the computers, whatever. You don't just need TV anymore. So that was something he's really hoping for. He also said during the conference with some of the phone calls is there will be no crossover between WWE and the XFL. There will be no WWE wrestlers, no WWE announcers, backstage hand, whatever. There will be none of them working for the XFL. The XFL is basically its own business, its own brand. It has nothing to do with WWE. Vince did this conference. He said that WWE will take no part in the XFL. And he also said that the XFL won't affect his day-to-day with the WWE. That he is going to hire the professionals needed to run the XFL. He's going to take a seat back and basically collect that check. So he said he's going to hire all the right people that they need to. Some of the questions that was asked was about cities. He must have answered this probably about 7 times, but he has no word on any cities just yet. He said the brand is launching in 2020, and he has 2 years to figure that out. So he said right now he wants to listen to the fans, the experts, and everyone in between on setting this up correctly, which I think is very smart. Back in 2001, it was kind of a rush job because I remember some of those advertisements and because it was the Attitude Era. He tried bringing the Attitude Era to football, and it was just a whole big cluster. I mean, it works for wrestling, but for a sport, wrestling's a sport, but you know what I mean. The way that football, it just didn't work very well, and he was rushing it. It was more for a profit, it seemed like, and just chaos than on this conference. He actually sounds a lot smarter and mature about it. And like I said, he said he wants to hire all the best people to run this, to listen to the doctors. He wants to listen to the fans of what their opinions are on certain matters. One thing that he said is he wants to make the game quicker in time. He's hoping for like a 2-hour game compared to the NFL, which could be like 3 to 4 hours. He said one thing they might think about is taking out halftime, but they said nothing is official just yet. They're still working the bells and whistles. This is just just a conference saying that it's coming back, but there was no really word on too much of anything when it comes to rules and that type of deal. He said that for the national anthem, because obviously that's a big thing in our country right now with the NFL and all that with Colin Kaepernick and so on, and Donald Trump and the tweets and whatever. He said that in the rule book, when the people sign, the players, coaches, the staff, everyone will know the rules to the XFL. There won't be anything hidden. And he said that he's hoping to hire players that don't have criminal backgrounds. He said even DUI would fit into that, because somebody asked him about like some former NFL players like Johnny Manziel, Tim Tebow, Kaepernick, stuff like that. So I don't know Manziel's background, like with criminal records, or Kaepernick or Tebow's, but he said if they have one, he's not sure if they would play for the XFL, because he wants someone to represent his company, in a good manner. So anyway, with the American flag, he was saying that when he was growing up with sports and till now, basically, players always stand for the national anthem. He's like, that was always tradition, and shows respect and all that to the veterans and to the current military and all that. So he said that players will know that they have to stand. He said the XFL will have nothing to do with politics. He said that players, whoever, will have a voice, on their social medias, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. He said, but it will not be part of the XFL. He said he just wants to focus on football. He wants to do this more correct than the original time. So I think all that, by just lip service, it's really smart how he's doing this time. It's $100 million, I think he said. So he doesn't want to fail this time, basically. And I think that's smart. I think it's really smart. Like I said, I think it's really smart that he stays out of the limelight for this. Also, I think it's smart to keep WWE from joining in, like the wrestlers and the commentators and all that. Because if he wants to be taken serious, you gotta leave them out of it. I think that was part of why it kind of failed last time, is people kind of took it as a joke. I wouldn't even doubt if people would thought that the games were scripted or not. I'm not saying that people were saying that. I'm just, attitude-wise, I don't even know if people really took it as a serious football sport game. I'm a huge WWE fan. I've been watching WWE for 30 years about. I don't think it's fake or anything. I mean, I know it's scripted. I'm talking about, like, people really do get punched. They really get hurt, so I'm not saying that it's not a sport, so don't take it that way. What I'm saying is, it's not football, it's not baseball, whatever you want to call it. It's not sports entertainment. Well, you get what I'm trying to say, though. So anyway, I think it's really smart that he keeps the crossover, that there is none, and that he makes it its own brand. I think that's very smart of him. I think people take it way more serious that way, because they, those that aren't WWE fans, they all think wrestling's fake. They all think, the injuries are fake, whatever the case is. So now they won't really focus on that anymore. And yeah, I think it could survive if they do that. He said, as for like concussion protocols and all that stuff, that he wants to hire the best doctors to help make like the helmets and the gear and all that, and try to make it as safe as possible. He said, of course, it's football. They're going to get hurt, that type of deal. He's like, we're going to try the hardest that we can to make sure they don't get, seriously injured, or even, with the concussions, mental issues and all that. And I mean, that's also smart, because with the WWE, he has history of wrestlers dying at a young age due to injuries, due to, painkiller, like medication addictions. I mean, just stuff like that. I mean, you had Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero. I mean, the list goes on and on. And, so he wants to do this smart, and I think that's very good for him. Like I said, no cities. He said he has no problem hiring certain people. And, and one thing that I thought was kind of cool, he said that it's a brand new brand, basically. He's not sure the cities, but if like, for instance, the original league had Orlando Rage, I believe their name was. So he was saying that he's not sure if he's going to bring back the original name. So, for instance, if Orlando gets another team, he's not sure if they'll be called the Rage. he's like, they could bring back the older names. He's not sure yet. He's like, it'll be up to the fans or whoever the experts, and they'll figure out if they want to bring back the history of certain cities and teams or not. He also said, as for the jerseys, there was a player that had the name He Hate Me, I think it was. I don't remember the guy's actual name, but on his jersey it said that on the back. And he's not 100% sure if he's going to bring back those custom name jerseys or not. He said again that he's going to talk to the experts that's been around, like the NFL and sports in general, and see what their opinion is. If it should just say like their last name, or if they should be able to express themselves a little bit more, the players. And yeah, I think overall this could be really cool. He said it's going to be not completely the off season of the NFL, but pretty much. I think he said he wants the games to start the end of January and then go on like through the spring, when there's no NFL, Canadian Football League, college football, basically no football is really going on at that time frame. So he said he wants to do it more then. And overall, I'm pretty excited about it. We'll have to see when we find out more information. Like I said, it'll be 2020, and yeah, I think bringing it back, it could be a good thing as long as he does it smart. And I think this time around, he's keeping his ego at the door, and he's gonna do it smart. And I'm really excited to see what he comes up with. At his age, I'm sure he's done being the limelight. Like I said, WWE, he barely shows up now, in front of the camera, I mean. So I think this is really cool, and we'll have to keep posted. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. A little bit different of a video, just a little blog video. Again, I'll be posting some Overwatch, some more gaming stuff, Overwatch, Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed, Heroes of the Storm, and all that I normally post on my channel. I just wanted to do something a little different. So I guess I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.